on my mind in the evening, too much to decide what it could be.
Shit. Well, my name's Panguex. I'm a artist, producer, engineer from Newport, Kentucky. I've been making music for probably since 2016. I started making beats when I was in college playing ball, and then did it for about a year of making beats, and then started making my own music. And just kind of been releasing shit out since about 2017. I dropped my first song, Miss Mary Mac, on SoundCloud back in 2017. And ever since then, I've just been going along this journey, building, creating, meeting people, fucking just getting inspired, and just trying to make something happen in this area for real. The Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area, just, you know, trying to build for real.
Oh, it's hitting me now. Yeah. What about that shawty from the west side? The one you let go for the 5th time? The one that you wrote this to? The one you made act a fool, sharing a love with you?
The first thing that even got my attention was I was in college when I was playing basketball, and my teammate, I just walked into his apartment building, and he had like a Kai beat pad just chilling right there. And I've seen it before, and I like kind of knew what it was, but I just asked him like, "Yo, what is this? Like, what you got going on?" And he was like, "Yeah, and I make beats, I sample a little bit." So he went and showed me kind of like some of the beats him and his friends made, and I was just like, "Fuck, bro, like this shit's dope. Can you kind of like teach me or show me?" So he basically helped me download Reason, was the first DAW software I ever used. He helped me download that onto my laptop, and he let me borrow his beat pad for a few days. So once I got it, I was just kind of like fucking around, but that was like the first kind of like thing that piqued my interest as far as just music or anything.
Okay, and so obviously you're playing ball there, and then kind of, did you feel like as you're playing ball and you're with that teammate, and the more you're getting into it, did you kind of feel like the music was really taking over and that you felt kind of a more passion there?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy how it started, because, you know, like, I don't know what it was, but it's just like, it kept drawing me to want to like make beats. So as soon as I downloaded Reason, it was like every day, like I'd go back to the dorm after practice or like after class and just like start making beats and just trying to like figure out what was going on within the software. And as I kept doing it, it was like, I don't know, it was like it was feeding my soul, and I was like, I don't know, it was weird. And then it slowly and surely became like, because basketball was my passion, you know, like that's why I went to college, but it slowly but surely started to like go into music, and I was like in class making beats and like up till freaking like 2 in the morning making beats with headphones on, and it just, yeah man, it just kind of like took me over to the point where I was like, damn, like I really think this is something I want to do for real.
Surely I gotta prove I can do it all. Never let how I feel sit inside too long. I know it could end tomorrow if it wanted to. So I gotta know who's enough. Gotta know who to trust. Everybody wanna be loved.
I never really made music before I started making beats. Like I used to mess around with like GarageBand on my buddy's laptop back in like high school and grade school. And then there was a software called Magic's Music Maker on Windows, and it was just a bunch of loops. So like I would put loops and shit together and like, you know, do little pen taps in school and, you know, beatbox here and there just for fun shit. But when I started really making music, like it was also new to me that like I just feel like my improvement as far as my craft has just been all around, because I was never really a singer or anything when I first when I got into making beats. So the fact that I'm here right now with like writing lyrics and like engineering and producing, the growth for sure is just kind of like, it's everywhere, just because it was so bad. Like it was just like a clean slate, and now it's, you know.
Do you feel like that's really benefited you, kind of not really having anything, so you just kind of started off new, where you could build on whatever you wanted instead of where you kind of kept going back to something? Did you feel like having that clean slate really did benefit you?
Yeah, I think it definitely benefited me in the sense of like, all right, this is something brand new I've never done before. So now it's just basically like me figuring out basically what it is I want from this. Like I started making beats first, so like I really wanted to be a producer. I was trying to be on some like Dr. Dre type shit and just kind of, you know, make beats for people and just not really be the upfront artist. But then I started making music with my cousin, and he was the first one to really like push me to become an artist and kind of like not be afraid to put my voice on a track, you know what I mean? Because I sent him one of the first tracks I ever recorded on was called Loco. It was just an old track me and him made. And I had my mic and I just recorded a little chorus on it and sent it to him, not knowing like how he would react. And he called me, he was just like geeking, like, bro, this sounds so fire.
Yeah.
And it was so mids at the time, but like him saying that was just like, damn, like someone actually fucks with the way my voice sounds. Like
it made you feel like there was a good reason to follow that.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, after he said that, I was like, all right, like it just piqued my interest right there. Like, let me try to be an artist. Let me try to sing on some tracks, especially with my cousin, because he's basically like my brother. So like I was comfortable around him to, you know, put my voice on a track, because I was always like a nervous, shy kid back in the day, and I wasn't really one to kind of want to give presentations or be kind of like
put yourself out there.
Yeah, for real. So when I started making music and started recording, it was like, all right, let me get out of this like this little fucking box I've put myself in and kind of open up and see what the fuck I can actually do with this.
So who was the first person outside of him, your cousin, that hit you up and was like, yo, I like this song, and basically was that other proof of concept? Because a lot of times people need that proof of concept for someone like your cousin being like, oh, this is great, and it gave you that. Who was the one person that surprised you? Maybe you just were like, oh, like some random person, like maybe a random fan or just somebody close to you. Like, who was that first real surprise where you're like, holy shit, like outside of your cousin?
For real, bro, I would say it's my boy Tanner. He was like the first person that, because he was the reason I really like got into music for real, into high school, as far as like listening to it and understanding like a bigger message within music. Because he put me on to J. Cole back when we first met, and he was like showing me how Cole would like connect certain songs with older songs, and how like his albums would like, you know, tell a story, and how he just, you know, there's a bigger message within his music than kind of, you know, just
what the words are.
You know what I mean?
There's more than a face value to it.
Yeah, like he's trying to do something bigger. So then like Born Sinner was the first real album I ever really like listened to, and like I burned it on a CD and was listening to it, and it was like the first album I kind of for real like fell in love with for real. And so when I started making music, you know, I hit Tanner up basically saying like, yo, like I'm making beats. Like he saw that I dropped I think it was like Loco, one of the songs I dropped with my cousin Kyle. So he was just like tapping in for real. And ever since that, he's been the one by my side, kind of like, you know, telling me like his opinions on what he thinks, you know, I could do with my music to kind of help me get to a certain level. And really, because he's more of the like, he looks at an artist and sees like, all right, like the potential, and then also what he can provide and add in to kind of like, because he's not really an artist, so like, you know, he's not the one making music, but he's still got the mind of like how this shit works, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's an outside person who still has an understanding and knows what he's talking about, that can actually give good, not necessarily criticism, but good pointers and good like ways to move forward.
Off of, you know what I mean?
So how do you feel? So how do you go about undertaking criticism from people who, one, you feel don't know what they're talking about only because they don't really make music, they're not even really in the same industry as you, compared to people who maybe are, but you don't feel like they really can, because it's more of like they're in it, but they're really 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. So how do you kind of judge really taking not necessarily criticism, but like critiques and things like that from just different people?
I would say a lot of people like who criticize, like who I ask for critiques, or you know, who like I'll play my music and kind of want to hear what they say. I just like, I want to catch as much perspective as I can, for the sake of not necessarily like making my music geared towards a certain audience, but more or less like, all right, how can I relay a message that can appeal to where like everyone can kind of understand it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, people, even if it's someone who's not making music, like it could be just a random person that I meet who just, you know, listens to music but doesn't know really much about the art. Like, I feel like when they listen to a song with their type of perspective, it's like they're not really thinking about anything other than how the song makes them feel. So I take that and kind of like, however someone feels about my song, I almost just take it as like, I don't know, it's weird. I kind of like analyze it and kind of like study why certain people listen to certain things and why certain things appeal. And as far as putting that back into my music, it's just like, I'm just trying to understand the listener more to where I can, you know, provide something that a listener may need or that someone may need to where it can, you know, maybe help them in a certain way.
Like a message in a sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, life is hard. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Life is kind of a hard thing. A lot of escape for people is music. So basically kind of taking and building a message that you feel can, even if it doesn't help a million, but helping that one person is good enough.
Exactly, bro. And it's like, it's more of me, because like I always get kind of this dilemma of how, like, what lane do I need to be taking, or is there a lane, or should I just be making music? And like, obviously my thought process is, you know, don't worry about what genre you're going into, just like make music that can, you know, impact people. And I think a lot of the music that I make is versatile because I'm just trying to, for real, like, impact anyone I can. Like, as far as genre-based listeners, if that makes sense. Like, just tap into all people and kind of like help people in a get a message across to people that they can understand and that can help them. No matter if it's like a R&B track, like a hip-hop type track, an EDM type track, a house type track, whatever it is that you like, that feels good to you, whatever music, like I want to try to hit that lane, get my message across in that lane to where, like, you know, you can feel it and understand it, or like, you know, take something from it.
Do you feel like you are able to bend different genres? Do you feel like you're going to be able to stay where you are now, where you feel comfortable enough to not stay in a lane of a necessary one genre, be able to expand that? Do you feel comfortable in how you're growing that you can keep doing that?
Yeah. Do you mean as far as like being comfortable as doing different lanes?
Yeah, doing different lanes and kind of like not necessarily having, like, say you have an album, right? About 10 songs. Are you comfortable being on that album and kind of say 1 through 5 is kind of all like the same type of genre, and then like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are kind of different?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're comfortable with that, and that you still feel like you can still get across that message with different genres on like an album and such?
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of the albums that I've been working on, the one thing that I try to do is make it, you know, as versatile as I can as far as sound, production, just, you know, the story kind of top to bottom, just kind of almost keeping people like on their toes, not knowing what to expect with the next song. Like,
Cliffhanger.
yeah, for real, like, you know, this song is like an R&B feel type track, but like the next song might be like a house track, or like some EDM, or just like a slow jam, or just something that's, you know, not the same as the song before, but still fits the vibe and still, like, you know,
it makes sense. It still makes sense. It's not something you listen to and you're like, how the fuck did I just like get here?
like I'm not going from like, I don't want to go from like, you know, an R&B song and then make like a heavy rock song and have it like totally out of whack and not, you know what I mean, like sound wise. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Alright. So
But she ain't the only one. No, there's more where that came from. But you can't admit when you're wrong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this whole kind of like animation thing I've been doing with my lyric videos is like, I just like the way that it's been like flowing for real. They're like, the dude I've been working with, I found him on this app called Fiverr.
okay. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and I was just kind of searching for lyric. I literally typed in lyric videos, and I found his page and came across it, and I was like, damn, this dude's really dope. So, just paid him. I think I paid him like it was like a $60 thing. And
That's not bad.
Yeah, and he hooked me up, and he sent me back the first one he ever did, and I was just like, bro, this is amazing. Like it's like perfect. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this. Like the dude gives off the right vibe, and it's like, you know, I'm really into animation. So when I started doing this and like, you know, got this character design, it's just something I'm like, all right, I kind of want to run with this and see what I can do and like create a world, you know.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean? Like create almost like for real, like just like a virtual like gorillas type shit. You know, they were kind of like the first real virtual like cartoon band that I ever knew about, and you know, it was just a cool vibe, and that's something I want to like continue playing on, especially with my love for the visual aspect of the music, because like I think that's why I like that aspect of having a visual that's interactive, because it gives the music more of a setting and a vibe and something to where you can kind of relate it to something that, you know, you maybe wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, and like I've been watching obviously a couple of them just overall, and I like what you're saying. It's kind of making them feel like a world.
Yeah.
Do you feel, this might be like a little extreme here, but
It's
do you feel like it would be like in a way that, say, you would want to connect them all, have each person like kind of like quote unquote like a multiverse, like things like that? Would you think that would be something you'd be interested in, and kind of for each video that like kid or whatever it is, and kind of like maybe at the end like, so let me rephrase this. So basically like an album, if you were to do that, would you feel like would you be interested really in the idea of like the videos like that, and then say basically each one's kind of its own universe, and then tying it back in and expanding on this?
100%. And I think that's really what I'm trying to do with this album I'm currently working on. Is just kind of, you know, run with this animation and build a world, you know what I mean, that can go in any different direction with the animation, you know what I mean, like, because that's the one thing I love about like cartoons and everything, is you can push the limit of kind of the story you're telling, and, you know, exaggerate a little bit but make it kind of, you know, still appeal to an audience.
On my mind in the evening, too much to decide what it could be that's weighing me down. Yeah, oh, it's hitting me now. What about the time you rushed out the door? Didn't say goodbye to your own family that you have known for 23 years in a row. Oh, my heart's getting cold.
I think a hot dog's a sandwich.
Do I think a hot dog is a sandwich? No. I don't know. I don't think it's a sandwich. I think it's if anything, wouldn't it be like a taco almost to an extent?
Yeah.
The way it's shaped. I mean,
It's
I know you
shaped and
got
how
the
you hold
bread,
it.
but like.
No, I don't think it's a sandwich. See, I think it's not, because it's just one piece of bread. So like I would feel it's more of a taco family, because you're grabbing a taco like the same you'd grab a hot dog.
Yeah, I guess it's based on like how you would eat it. Cause I mean, I'm not gonna cap. Like you could take a hot dog bun and put some motherfucking like turkey and like cheese in it and toast it, and it'd be, I mean, a sandwich. So what's the difference between like that type of meat, like a turkey meat, and a hot dog?
Well, I feel like if it's still one piece of bread, though, it wouldn't be a sandwich. Because I feel like a sandwich has to be two pieces. Like,
so what about when you cut it in half?
I still think that's one piece, though. That would still count as one piece of bread. That's just.
You ever been to Subway though?
Yeah.
You see how they cut the bread?
Yeah.
They keep they don't cut it in two.
But I just don't think it's a sandwich, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, fuck. I mean, I guess it's a sandwich. It's whatever you want it to be, I guess, to an extent.
Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh, God. Jesus. There's so many. My favorite? What's my favorite conspiracy theory? God damn, I don't know, bro, because there's so many I'm thinking of right now. I'm just trying to pick which one I want to say. I mean, like the simulation theory, or the conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like that we're living in
In a simulation, everything's already planned out.
Yeah.
Some kid's science project.
I almost think it's almost like, yeah, bro. And so it's almost not necessarily that everything's planned out, but like it's almost like whoever's running the simulation is just testing shit. You know what I mean? Like testing what works and testing like just fucking why we react to certain things and like, you know, our kind of like natural response. That's just my theory.
Okay.
But it's a theory.
No, like we've had a couple really interesting ones where I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like what?
Like we had one, like I had a dude try to do like the lizard people thing, and like I just can't get really behind that one because I'm just like I don't like, because I like. Don't get me wrong, they're obviously all conspiracies, but like that one I just feel like I never get like an argument where I'm ever like, that makes sense. Like Princess Diana, like 9/11 and stuff like that, like I feel like you can get theories that make sense, but like the lizard people, I do think Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard. I will give that one. I do think Mark is, but like the overall scheme, I'm just...
That one right there is the one that piques my interest the most because it's like, I love the so far like fetched ones because it's like, what, like, imagine if that was to become real. Like, people find that out and everyone's like, wait, what? Like, there is actual lizard people
just
here,
walking
like,
around and shit.
doing shit. Like, and my thing, bro, is, I don't know, I be watching, like, when I watch movies sometimes, and this is kind of something I hate too, I'm like, skeptical of the agenda that's being pushed. And I'm kind of, like, I'm trying to be aware of, like, the story that's being told, how it's being told, and almost what's the point?
Yeah, and then like you're just basically going like, this don't really make sense here
at all. But
like
then there's
that.
like there's some movies that I'm like, what was the point of them making this movie? And for real, I feel like a lot of movies right now that are being released.
See, I feel that way 100% with horror movies, because whenever I watch a horror movie, I'm just like, why would you like go back into the house with the dude there? Like, or they're like, oh, I forgot like my purse. It's like, bro, like, or like my worst is like the haunted house ones where like they'll see their kid talk to like a demon, just no one's there. It's like, why would you stay in that house? Like, if your kid is constantly just talking to the wall, why would you want to stay there, bro? Like, that...
Get the fuck
yeah, bro,
out. Like, let someone else figure that shit out.
Yeah, bro, like, that is none of my business, bro. Like, if I walk into my kids doing that, we're out. I don't care if I just bought that house. Like, I'm like, bro, no. I'm not waking up every day to you being like, Jonathan says hi. Like, bro, I don't want to know nothing about Jonathan,
Do you
bro.
believe in ghosts?
Oh, I believe in spirits.
Okay.
I do fuck with spirits.
What do you think the difference is between, like, a spirit and a
So,
ghost?
I think that spirits do, like, the voices and shit, and ghosts do, like, rattling, I guess. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like there is, like, a difference in them, because I just feel like spirits are more of the, like, mental fuck with you type stuff, and, like, the ghosts are, like, the... oh, like, did you move this type thing?
I got you.
And I just feel like you get more spirits than ghosts. Like, when I feel like those shows, like those haunted house shows and shit, like, I feel like those are more spirits.
Almost like, I don't want to say possession, but almost like they're trying to get into
like, mentally, like, fuck with you.
Literally, like, enter into, like, I almost think spirits is almost like a possession type thing.
Okay.
Like spirits are trying to, like, use your body as a vessel. You know what I mean? Where ghosts could be like, what if it's someone that like being a ghost is almost like you're in purgatory type shit, where you're kind of trapped in this world and no one can see you. Yeah. And you're trying to get out, or you're trying to like get
you can interact
attention.
with things. Quote unquote. Like, that's how I. But
you don't like, maybe ghosts don't have like any bad intention, you know what I mean? Like, they're just trying to like be like, yo, like, help type shit. Or maybe a ghost is on some like funny shit and is trying to fuck with people, where like a spirit could be literally trying to like
kill you type shit, like lead you to kill yourself.
Literally.
That's weighing me down, weighing me down. Oh, it's hitting me now. Surely.
Okay, I say the one thing that's different about me is the fact that I feel like I care a lot about what I'm creating and kind of the message that I'm putting across. and I'm trying to really show people that I'm really like an open book. I'm not holding anything back. Like, I'm just trying to be as pure and like true with everything that I make as possible. And I feel like that, as long as I continue to do that and stay true to who I am, I feel like that's the one thing that can make me stand out from other people and other artists, or yeah.
Alright. Do you feel like you're the best rapper hooper in the city? Do you feel like you could take anyone on?
Hooping wise?
Yeah.
I feel like I could definitely hold my own against a lot of people. Now, if you're like 6'7",
yeah, you know that's just kind of
post,
different.
like,
yeah.
You know, I'll still probably like foul you, and I'll still probably.
Facts. I'm
gonna definitely like not.
I'm gonna get a
back
rebound.
down. Yeah,
you
like,
gonna miss one time.
I'm gonna try to get my points, but like, you know, physical attributes sometimes overtake.
And I mean they 6'7". I mean, it's just really one of those like, yeah, bro, you gonna do this.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
only
you're probably
5'11", bro.
Like, and like I'll accept that fact.
Yeah.
As far as rapper, no, I'm not the best rapper. I will say that because I've met a lot of really good rappers.
Oh no, I'm a rapper, basketball player. Like, rap and play ball.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, we can run it. That's all I'm saying. Like, if we trying to find out, because like I'm getting back into hooping and I need to start playing again. So like,
I'm about to get that 1v1 between you and Marco. YB Marco.
I need it, Marco. We were playing in a basketball league, and we could have played in a championship, but my team fucked around and lost.
It always happens like that.
Pressure on my mind in the evening, too much to decide what it could be that's weighing me down. Yeah. Oh, it's hitting me now. What about the time you rushed out the door, didn't say goodbye?
So, I got another single releasing in March. And then currently I've just been working on a lot of just new songs, new sounds, and then I am working on an album. And just, you know, I'm kind of like being patient with it as far as, you know, how I want it to sound, and kind of not trying to rush the process of, you know, getting an album out, and I don't know, I'm just trying not to rush it and
not hit your expectations.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a certain thing that I'm trying to like go for, but then again, I'm not trying to like be too deep into like, all right, everything's got to like sound like this, sound like this, sound like this. I kind of want to
leave it to interpretation.
Exactly, and leave it to like, you know, and as far as like the creation of it, I wanted to leave it to like, you know, like, divine fucking inspiration, and let, you know, what kind of be open to any type of collaboration, or like, you know, any other idea that may enhance the project, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's far away, soonish? Without, you don't have to necessarily put a date on it, obviously.
I would say it's more farther away than soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll release a couple, just like little, just maybe like features and stuff in between that time, maybe just to kind of keep people enticed and such?
Yeah, I got a lot of unreleased music that I'm like stacked on right now. I got, you know, cool amount of features. I've done production for some people, and then, you know, might be working on a few albums with some people. So like, I got a lot of stuff like that I'll be releasing in between, like, you know, songs that I drop or music videos or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, man, so kind of wrap it up, like, just shout out people, man. Shout yourself out, shout out your team, and just take as much time as you need, really.
Alright, there's a lot of people I could shout out. I just want to shout out everyone who's been supporting me, everyone like who's been in my journey, who I've met, like everyone. Like, you don't realize how much you've inspired me and just kind of really, you know, helped me just through this journey. So there, I mean, like, you know who you are, for real. If you've been involved with me, like, thank you for everything. And even if it's been like up and down, like, it's still, I try to look at everything as like a learning lesson, and it's all been great. So shout out to everyone who's been a part of my process and journey. Shout out my mom and dad, my sisters. Shout out my motherfucking boy for doing this. Who else? Shit. Pressure's out now on all platforms, so go check that out. Other than that, like, that's all I got.
So I gotta know who's enough. Gotta know, trust. Everybody wanna be loved.